Let me take you back to the Olive Convention Conference Center in Durban. This is where the football fraternity was having the funeral service of one of the most celebrated sons of South Africa. That's Clive The Dog Barker, who died last week. Let's take you straight to our sports editor, Vata Ngobeni, who is actually with one of the legends who were there when the class of 1996 made South Africa proud. And Bravi, I wonder if he thinks that we celebrate the class of 1996 enough today.
Yes, Maseko, we're just waiting for Lucas to quickly wrap up here, and we'll get to speak to him. But again, you know, it was extremely moving to see the great Lucas Radebe and Dr. Khumalo, you know, standing side by side next to the coffin of the great Clive Barker, and it was really after. Here's Brother Lucas. Brother Lucas, we're live on eNCA. Brother Lucas, again, we stand here and we speak of legends not having been recognized in South Africa. We speak about them being only spoken of when they've passed on. It's quite a big sentiment that came out of today. Your feelings on that, Brother Lucas?
Yeah, I think it was a fitting farewell for one and only Clive Barker, who has brought the success to Bafana, and it remains, you know, unchallenged, you know, and again it happens, you know, where we see our greats and people that are supposed to inspire the current and the up-and-coming generation not being recognized the way they're supposed to, especially having had contributed so much, you know, into the game. But I think the farewell today, you know, and for the departed, you know, was fitting, you know, but they still can do even more in terms of the football side of it, where we need to honor people like that who have contributed immensely, that can still inspire the current and the up-and-coming footballers of this country. And it's so sad that we should be celebrated outside of our countries than in our country. And that, to be honest, it brings sadness to see when it comes to things like this, and when we eventually, you know, pass on and people want to come on stage and say the good things. And, you know, I believe in giving people and let the people smell the flowers while they're still alive.
A stadium named after him. I know there was a sentiment also shared in a place like Durban, where he really made a huge impact on the football fraternity.
We can only hope that something would be done. If they can start by doing something to one of us, then we'll believe that, you know, obviously some of them will be honored or that. But I think it deserves some sort of a recognition or some sort of a monument, you know, where he should be a lot of young and up-and-coming people who doesn't know, especially the 2000, who don't know even much, don't even recognize us, you know, just to have just something that, and as a remembrance, you know, that they can take it and be an inspiration. But this is history as well, you know, for the country. We need to preserve our history, and this is those kind of opportunities that we should do that, which I think nothing happens still.
And lastly, Lucas, your fondest memory of Clive Barker, what is going to live with you for a very, very, very long time?
What an amazing character. You know, he had different characters, you know, from Magents to Mark Williams, the Fish, you know, and he brought that together and built a great family. And for me, you know, it's when we have to do our competitions of dancing, where he started, but obviously with his balls, his bow legs, you know, and then he start first, but that's why Mukuku get the name Mukuku, because he came on stage and apparently, Jesus, he was off. But I think for me, he was one of the coaches who will engage each and every one, you know, not just as a player, but as a family as well, and know every player's family members, the parents, the dad, which was amazing about him.
Thank you very much, Lucas, and condolences to you guys as well. And there you have it, Masego, from one of the legends of South African football, who not only imprinted his name in the domestic game, but went on to really make a big name for himself out in England, playing for Leeds. And again, Masego, we're hearing this sentiment, keeps on coming, recurring. Give people their flowers while they're still alive. And beyond giving people the flowers while they're still alive, the likes of Clive Barker and this class of 1996 should have something in remembrance of the achievement of which they were able to attain in 1996. And again, the history of South African football and the history of South Africa and the feats this country has been able to achieve in a short space of time should never be cast into the dustbin. These are things that should live in our cities and our villages to ensure that the generations that are going to come in the future get to know who the likes of Clive Barker or the Lucas Radebes and the Neil Tovis. So, and wonderfully as well wrapped in the fact that he spoke about Clive, the human being, Clive the father, Clive the dancer, So a family man who changed the fortunes of a nation, not just on the soccer pitch, but off it as well, Masego.